That is a rotating boat lift. It's called the Falkirk wheel here in Scotland, and we're gonna try it. In fact, we're gonna drive our boat up it.
It is the world's one and only rotating boat lift, an engineering marvel and one of Scotland's biggest tourist attractions. But heading up it will take us through tunnels, a huge staircase lock, and along some of the most serene landscapes in Scotland.
So we are about to enter one of the wonders of the waterways.
The one and only Falkirk wheel.
The Falkirk wheel. It's been on my narrowboating bucket list for a while.
So we've rented this narrowboat online using drifters.co.uk and picked it up at Black Prince Holidays just below the Falkirk wheel on the Forth and Clyde Canal here.
It's a bit, the view wasn't as good today because of the weather, but hopefully
it feels very Scottish.
it does indeed, yeah.
It means the lock is set for us.
It's set for us, yeah.
Gates open.
Ready to
It's
roll.
as easy as it gets.
Nicole and I love the canal system in the UK, so we're taking 3 different narrowboats on 3 different canals, including the longest set of locks, the city that has more canal than Venice, and now the famous Falkirk wheel. Welcome to DownieLive Travels by Boat.
The Falkirk wheel is moving already.
The Falkirk wheel is used as a link connecting the Forth and Clyde Canal down at the bottom here, where boats will enter the lift from the basin, rotating up 35 meters to an aqueduct, which then carries the boats to the Union Canal. And all of this will just take a matter of minutes.
This is a
Control room's up there, yeah.
a control room. Air traffic control, but for the Falkirk wheel.
Correct.
They have to manage all the boats that are coming up this single lock, tell
Yep.
them to pull over and
Yep.
wait, boats coming from the other direction.
Yep.
You've got tour boats operating here, day rental boats. You've got 3-4 week-long rentals. How long does it take to do a rotation?
15 minutes, not even that.
15 minutes less? Felt like less.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes.
It rotated as we were coming up.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take long.
The time for it to do a rotation, or a half rotation, is the same as it takes for us to go in one lock, but that has replaced 15 locks.
Yep.
That means it's 15 times faster.
Yeah.
That's going to save us a lot of time, the locks.
In fact, 2 years ago, I rode the Anderton lift, one of the other boat lifts in the UK. But I guess the real question is, why use a lift? Well, 2 episodes ago, some friends and I took on the challenge of climbing the steepest set of locks in the UK, the Cane Hill Flight, with 16 locks in a row, which took us most of the day to climb, about the same height as the Falkirk wheel. But today's ride will only take us about 10 minutes to climb the same 100 feet.
There are quite a few tourists here just to see it. Some will go for a ride in the boat, but I love to do it. If you're physically capable to do it, I think you should. We've rented a boat, we're gonna drive it ourselves and go on.
And it looks like we're up next. Okay, so how does the Falkirk wheel work? Well, firstly, we're gonna slide our boat into the lower caisson, which is essentially the name for the tub that our boat will float in.
Do it for me.
Yeah.
With your boat. If you tie it up in that orange ball, just behind you there.
Roger. Tie it, or just hold?
It's easier, just give it a half turn and then you can tie it up in the boat.
That was easy, very friendly instructions. We're first timers anyways. The gate is closing behind us. Oh, it comes up from underneath. Okay. Is there another one?
Watertight gates will close behind us, holding all this water in.
And here comes the second gate. So that first one sealed the canal off, and this is gonna seal the water in here. Boom. Okay, we're officially sealed. I call this a bathtub. It's like we're floating in water in a bathtub that's gonna get taken up to the sky. I know that's not a technical term, but that's what makes sense to me. Now, so there are 2 boats in the lower bathtub, if you will. I don't know if there are any boats in the one above us. There might be, there might not be. But boats displace the same amount of water as they weigh. The weight of the water leaving is the same as the weight of the boat going in, which means whether there are boats or not in the bathtub above us, we are still the exact same weight. We are at equilibrium. It's like very cool science. And since we are the same weight as the one above us, we counteract each other, which means it doesn't actually take that much weight to rotate us, because it's not one side is heavy, full of boats, and the other side is light. We weigh the same. We're moving.
Now the reason that's important is because our caisson is full of water and 2 boats, which is very heavy, and it needs to be lifted 35 meters into the air, which would be difficult. However, the caisson above us is coming down.
You can see here, this is rotating, because that is what's swinging us out. And we are on wheels, and since we're heavy because of the water, we will always stay flat and level at the bottom. And we're just kind of loose in this rotating wheel. Wow. It's pretty smooth. Holy cow, look at this.
And since they weigh the same, whether or not it has a boat in it or not, it actually doesn't take much energy to rotate the Falkirk wheel. They say the amount of electricity needed to start the rotation on this is only what it takes to boil 6 kettles of water. Lifting boats into the air is a unique problem, but the result here is a modern piece of engineering that quickly and efficiently does the job. I gotta admit, it looks pretty cool too.
It's pretty impressive how an entire single piece of infrastructure, which was needed to replace the locks that were here anyways, but you design it in such a way and come up with a creative way of doing it, and it spurred this whole tourism industry here as well. These entire day boats visiting, full of tourists, just to ride this. We're here for 4 days on this, just for this. Pretty spectacular. Look how high up we are now.
But the other benefit of this is that a normal lock has water moving from the top to the bottom. But this system doesn't lose any water because it's always bringing water from the bottom back up to the top.
And that is the other main feature of this, that long aqueduct that sticks out. It's this river in the sky, so you can get to the actual boat lift part. But that sticks out right on the other side of a tunnel. So the sequence is very cool. Come up the boat lift, across an aqueduct, basically, and then into a tunnel. And how long does it take to rotate?
So the rotation that we just done,
Yeah.
4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes. Okay, thank you. Well, nice to meet you. Off we go. That was the Falkirk wheel, but up here's the aqueduct, then a tunnel, a couple more locks. Okay, we're out of the bathtub and back officially in the canal. Ooh, strong wind. We're gonna go straight into the next 2 locks.
I will stay here.
Yeah,
Everyone is so apologetic about the weather.
I know. They don't need to be apologetic about the weather. We guessed it would be like this.
I mean, I had hoped it wouldn't.
We don't want it to be like this, but look at that. Last view of it. Next stop, tunnel. Tunnel.
And just as we're getting started on this journey, the Scottish weather has suddenly decided to turn itself up a little bit.
Should turn the headlight on. There we go. It's really starting to rain now.
What does a red light mean?
Read the sign right here. Fixed red means stop. It's off. Alternate red and green, proceed with caution.
What does just the red mean?
If it's fixed red, I wonder if the green's not working.
All right.
We were told we can go straight in, so we're going in.
There's no one coming.
It's really starting to rain now.
Yeah.
At least we'll be dry for a minute in the tunnel.
I liked it better when it rained in the tunnels and it was sunny outside.
Right. This tunnel is 180 meters. This might be a weird thing to say, but this is a nice tunnel.
Yeah, it's a nice tunnel.
It's like the most modern tunnel we've encountered.
Yeah.
Lots of space, nice walkway,
Good ventilation.
well lit. Wow, are we nerds for this now? We're just coming straight into a lock. It's pouring rain. Just take a minute, dry. What's the rush?
And if you thought this series of impressive canal engineering features couldn't get any better than a rotating boat lift followed directly by a new tunnel, wait until you see what's waiting around the corner for us.
Look at the size of these locks. These are massive.
These are 2 consecutive deep locks, known as a staircase lock.
I think this is my first staircase flight.
Remember, the Falkirk wheel was built to replace a series of locks, but these 2 are still in operation at the top to get us up the final step to the Grand Union Canal.
The impressive part is that's only half of it. Still the next lock to go into. So this is a staircase lock. You go from one straight into the next one. I think some people think we're crazy. Come to Scotland, it's pouring rain, to travel by boat through locks and infrastructure. Yet this is our holiday. And I love that. You can ask Nicole if she does too. She might give you a different answer. I mean, look at the size of those walls. And this is just the top part, but they go all the way to the bottom of the first one.
Now these locks are so large that they are operated by volunteers to help us get through, but we do still have to hold onto our boat in place by holding these ropes around these shimmy pipes here. And that's what I love about narrowboating. You get to participate in each step of navigating a narrowboat.
All right, now we're officially on the Union Canal. The sign over here says we are at the midpoint between Edinburgh and Glasgow. We are headed towards Edinburgh. There it is. Welcome to the Union Canal. We're officially underway. From the bottom of the first lock we went through, then the Falkirk Wheel, then these two locks took us about 1 hour. But it used to take an entire day when it was all the original locks. That Falkirk Wheel really speeds up this process and makes this canal so much more accessible to users like us. Doesn't seem like there's many other boaters out here. Obviously, the canals further south, Wales and England, maybe a little bit warmer. That's why we wanted to come up here, see what's tucked away and hiding in Scotland. And beyond the first two locks, it's not too far before you hit your first aqueduct. I know it doesn't look like much here, it's just slightly narrower, but if you look off to this side here, we're over a road. That's cool, I love these features. Jeepers, it's calm out here. Almost no noise except for a little bit of rain on the leaves. And just this calm scenery. For renting one of these to try and get out of the city and away from the hustle and bustle, not bad. I think this has to be one of the greenest, luscious places I've ever seen on Earth. We are approaching the Falkirk Tunnel, which is 630 meters. All right, so we'll turn the lights on. You've honked the horn? Yeah. Headlights on. I'm gonna turn on all the interior lights. If you saw in our last video, turning the lights on inside helps them glow out through the windows. Oh yeah, you're gonna like these ones. Oh, should we turn these ones on? Yeah! Helps them glow out the windows, which then reflects onto the walls so we can just see how much space we have. There's the tunnel. Yeah! Yeah! Okay. Okay, I think we're set. Look at this scene. What an entrance. So green.
This tunnel is the longest canal tunnel in Scotland. It is 630 meters of solid rock.
This feels like a movie set. Jurassic Park, would you say this feels like Jurassic Park? Too wet?
Well, I would, except you sort of say that at the entrance of every tunnel.
Yeah.
But I am glad you have changed it up from your typical, it feels like Disneyland comments.
That's it. Feels like Jungle Cruise at Disneyland.
I knew it would come to you.
This is the wet tunnel. We can hear it already. We were warned about this.
Put my head up.
Yeah. This is awesome.
It feels more like a cave than a tunnel.
Yeah, it does feel like a cave. It is well lit. It's actually one of the few tunnels we've passed through other than the one earlier today that has lights in it. Look how tall it is.
Now the reason it was built is because a local landowner campaigned to Parliament against building the canal and locks up and over the hill because it would have spoiled the view from his house. So thanks to him, we get this really cool tunnel.
Wow, if you are into geography or geology, this tunnel is awesome. Honestly, other than the Standedge Tunnel, which is the longest and deepest in the canal network, this might be my next favorite.
Now this used to be a very dark and eerie tunnel until they added all these fun lights in here when the Falkirk Wheel was being built.
It's just so odd to me that it's square, this tunnel. All the other tunnels we've been on have been like a tunnel shape, like round. Gotta say, kinda like it. Kinda like it a lot.
Just make sure to keep an eye out for the ventilation shafts in the ceiling.
This canal was built in 1822, apparently. So I assume this tunnel was built at the same time. Oh, and then look how it ends. It's very
like huge bricks, like very cathedral-esque as opposed to cave. The engineering on the canal's spot on. Very impressed. From 200 years ago, like 1822, like exactly 202 years ago. And that's it. That was the Falkirk Tunnel. Well worth the visit. I'd say we're off to a good start on this canal. I like it. I like it a lot.
My hood makes me look like a mushroom. Can you take it off of me without taking my hat off?
So the next thing on the map should be the grocery store.
Yay, my favorite part of the trip.
Yeah, harder. Now swing right. No. Couldn't get it. We'll try. We'll get it on the way back.
We did a scooper net.
Yo,
We could have
butterfly net.
towed a truckload of garbage behind the Birmingham Canal
Yeah.
if we'd wanted to.
Yeah. There were shopping carts we could have pulled out.
That's the first bit of garbage I've seen in this one.
Yeah, very, very clean here so far. This is the Tesco parking lot for boats. Tesco being the grocery store. Quite nice, actually. Oh, there's not much room up front. It's busy. Busy right now. So cue the music. It's time for a montage, and let's make some progress. All right, let's get some groceries. We've done well. Actually, now's the perfect time to give you a tour of the place. So it starts with our front deck. Lovely, always a view of the canal. The smallest TV in the world that we'll never use, fire extinguisher, extra chair, and over in this corner it's a little like battery charging station that I've commandeered, plugs and a shelf. It's great. And then we have the dining room, as you saw, followed by the kitchen. Now, Nicole and I actually really like this U-shaped setup. We like that we can sit here, look out the front doors. It also feels like an open kitchen. You can talk to each other. We have a propane stovetop. Nicole's making coffee at the moment. Sink, fridge, microwave, and even a wine rack in this one, which is a nice touch. Although I know you're not supposed to put it next to the hot stuff, but we don't really use this much.
We're such wine connoisseurs.
Yeah, it's also £6.50 for the bottle of wine, so we're not too picky. Passing through this way, we have a full, large washroom. It's pretty big, pretty spacious, very well appointed. I like the sink. Toilet on an angle is a nice touch. Shelving for towels and all your stuff, and a pretty close to full-size shower. I mean, I can stand under that, and I'm 6 foot, which is great. Further down the hall is bedroom number 1. That's right, more than one. Big, bright, big windows. I like the yellow, it's a nice touch. Very similar setup to last time. Big closet space. Continue on down the hall. Second washroom, also full size with the big shower. And then the second bedroom, which is right at the back of the boat. And so with that tour, I think we should get underway again. I was looking ahead, and I told you before I use Google Maps, I use walking, because generally the walking directions will guide you along the canal towpath from here to Edinburgh, 12 hours of cruising. In a day and a half, that's not impossible. That's 4 hours more today, 8 hours tomorrow, full day. But we do have to come back within 4 days. It's going to be very tight. We might have to put in some long hours. But after being in Birmingham in the last video, I'd like to try. So I think that's the new plan. We didn't come expecting to do that. We kind of thought that was not possible. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. But maybe it is. Only one way to find out. In 12 hours. You see, the thing is you can't go any faster on the canals. You can't cut any corners. So with some fresh coffee, we are making way. But hey, this is what I've come to do. I like to be out here on a narrowboat cruising along. The bonus is that it's in the Scottish countryside. The Tesco is right across the canal from the Scotland prison. There you go. You see something new every day. I wouldn't have known that was there unless I came. You see, it's not about being fast, but I will have to put in a couple of long days to make this happen. But we're not here to go quickly. We're here to see it all. It's really not a matter of doing this faster. We're just gonna have to maximize the days. We can't start before sunrise, and we can't boat after dark. It's kind of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So those are the times we'll be boating. Look at the horse. What is that horse doing? The cows are like, no horseplay. But I will say it really is nice that it has stopped raining, allowing us to be out here on the deck, taking it all in. Although I seem to enjoy farm animals more than I thought. Oh, that's cool. Oh, we're in Scotland. Of course we've got sheep. Heck, I'm wearing wool myself. It's the only thing that'll keep you warm out here. I'm gonna do my best to show you more than just livestock. But they're cute, and these ones are all the sheep and cows together. I like how the bridges say Union Canal, and now this canal is actually quite natural, obviously, except for the bridges. These are very modern bridges. Some canals are wide, straight, heavily used. They were purpose-built for commercial shipping, kind of as expressways. And they're still used as such. This one, as you can see, is a very natural shore. And in fact, we run alongside the topography. So it curves a lot, as the hillsides do. And it's very quiet, not many boats on here. It's a treat. Of course, the reason we're here is to enjoy the scenery out on the water, but it's also important to take in the history that surrounds us as well. That is an incredible church. Look at the cemetery. Oh, you'll love it. Look at that roof.
I do love an old cemetery.
Wow.
This is where Mary, Queen of Scots was born.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So I guess moor up here?
Yeah.
Go for a walk? I know we said we got to make some ground if we're going to make it to Edinburgh, but we haven't come all the way to Scotland to just skip past everything. Nicole just said that.
I'm very wise.
So we are going to pull in, go for a walk, see the town, get back on the water. We found a spot. Nice. What great parking. You got a lot of weeds at the front too. Keep coming. Perfect. 10 feet, 8 feet, 6 feet. Start reversing. Okay. You're good. Here we go. Okay, what do you want to see?
Town Square and the castle and the church, if those are two separate things.
I think we can do those three things in the same place.
And like if someone's selling ice cream or like old-fashioned lollipops, like I wouldn't say no. Or even like fudge.
Yeah. Now we're talking. That's funny. It says Canal Center that way. Unsuitable for long vehicles. Pretty sure ours is 63 feet long. Linlithgow here is a medieval town, but it's so well kept. It's clearly lived in and loved, and look how the weather has improved for us too. It's the old post office, but it's a bar. That's a win if I've ever seen one before.
Wow, this is crazy to have a square like this all to yourself. It'd be crawling with tourists in like Italy.
How do you know you're in Scotland? When the cutest town, little square, no people.
Imagine being here 400 years ago. You'd be filthy. You wouldn't have showered in weeks, if not months. Your family would be dead from the Black Plague. Anyways, here's a statue.
But what caught my eye in town was that gold spire atop a tower. That's what I want to find. What a spectacular entrance and roof to a castle. Oh my gosh. Oh, Nicole was right. Mary, Queen of Scots, was born here. She was born in Lithgow Palace. She was born here. And since then, this list of plaques shows the line of descent all the way to the present monarch. Wow, that's crazy. In 500 years, they've had only 15 monarchs ruling. That's pretty impressive. You are able to walk around the castle grounds, and it includes some light reading as well. Well, what is it?
Well, so James first built the original palace, and then his son built an expansion, which is I think like the back half.
This is the original. Of course, they didn't place it upon a lake. Remember, it's a lock. So James I was in captivity in England for years, and upon release, fortified this to assert his authority, according to this.
Do you want me to give you an underdoggy?
But we can't stay here forever. We've got to get back to the boat and make more headway. We're back. We have
2 hours left. So we're gonna get on the water. I was about to say on the road, but good, yep. Okay, but on the good news side, Linlithgow, beautiful town. If you're coming through, worth the stop. And probably worth staying longer than we did. Look at all the great mooring spots. They've made it so easy, still with a buffer from the footpath. It's a good setup up here in Scotland. And they've picked a spot too where you're gonna have a view, but it's very quiet on the other side. Although if I'm honest, it might have been due to erosion and they're worried about if it leaked and washed out the side, because that has happened in this canal before, that it would flood town. Either way, they've reinforced it and it makes it very easy for us boaters. It's a win-win, really.
So we're about 20 miles away from Edinburgh at this point. We clearly won't make it tonight, but I will keep cruising right up until curfew, which is about 8 p.m. on the canals. In order to keep boating and not stop, Nicole is cooking dinner for us, thanks to our stop in Tesco earlier on for groceries, and I'm doing my best to stay focused on driving.
What a nice swan. Oh my gosh, here are the babies. Two cute gray fluffy swan babies. It's the ugly ducklings in real life. And then here are actual ducklings. Oh, also very cute. What a nice night. This is it, you're just out boating. Don't know what you'll see next. Yeah, that's it. Basically, I didn't do much other research on this canal, so I have no idea what we'll see or come up against next. But I bet we'll see more swans and ducks. But they never get old.
It may feel at times like there's not much to see out here, but there's always something new around the corner.
These are tailings from an old mine. So as you dig out a mine, you have to put what you dig out somewhere. They piled it up here. This is actually a relatively flat-ish part of land, but this sticks out as a huge mound. Ooh, my goodness. Wow.
I even cut up your chicken for you because you're such a big boy.
Well, I need to eat it while steering.
You don't need to make excuses.
Oh, you're right.
Okay. Now here comes the airplane.
Oh boy. Oh, that's delicious. Thank you. Wow. We are losing light. Can't be boating after dark. And it's just going to be really difficult to tie up, and we don't want to do it too late. So we're having dinner now, and we will tie up at the next spot we can find.
Now, I don't recommend eating while driving. I mean, you should always have a hand on the tiller, but at these slow speeds and out here where we're clearly not going to hit anyone else or even anything other than the soft shore, I think I can get away with it for a couple of minutes.
This is such a cool forest, but we are running out of light. On the map, it says the next bridge should have good mooring for us. When was the last time that bridge was used? And we got a nice sky. Oh, I see a plane taking off. We're near Edinburgh. But on this thing, you have to go so slowly. You can be close, but I don't know if we're gonna make it. All right, let's get this thing parked. There should be mooring up here.
It is clearly getting darker now, and we do have to find a good spot to park for the night. And this could be the best spot.
What a sunset. So this is a brand new marina, as you can tell. Everyone that was renting today, none of them have made it here, because none of them boated as long as we did. So we are going to park here and have the whole place to ourselves.
Nice. So this is the end of cruising for us today, but it's not the end of our work yet.
Okay, here's the problem. Well, the situation. This is a 3-day boat rental. It's kind of called 4, but on day 4 you have to return it by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, because the wheel only starts operating at 10 a.m., we have to go down it the day before. So we have to be at the top lock at 4 p.m.
So it's barely even a
3.
3-day.
The amount of time that we were able to boat today is the exact same amount of time that we have to boat on day 3. So
how long did we boat today?
Well, close to 8 hours. 8 hours. So if we have to leave here at 8 a.m., which is the earliest we can start boating in the morning, that means we also have to be here by 8 p.m. on day 2, tomorrow night.
we have two options. We either try and do as much of the canal as we can, or we just embrace the fact that we're not going to make it, relax, which is the whole point of the canals.
Yeah.
And go real slow and just see as much as we can and turn around when we need to turn around.
Wow, we've never like not made it somewhere before. It's a very odd sensation.
I know. We're a little overambitious, which I like because it means we've achieved and seen a lot, but we also miss a lot because we do that.
That's a really good point. We do miss a lot.
And so I think this is what we need.
It's kind of a tough look for us, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I know we can't make it, like we can't make it,
Yeah.
there's no point in trying.
I know. It would have been really fun to pull the canal boat into next to the Edinburgh Castle, but
Yeah.
we're going to see it on Saturday anyway.
Yeah. We're going to go slow down and cruise?
Not tonight.
No, but
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
It'd be harder than the pushing ourselves.
All right. It'll be harder than trying to go fast. All right. Let's go to bed.
Let's go to bed.
You know what? We can sleep in now. That'll be nice. So I slept in this morning and it felt great. Time is currently 10:54 in the morning. I think I needed a break. I think I needed a reason to slow down. I think since we're not in a rush to get anywhere, we might go nowhere. For a bit, at least. So, with the new goal of not trying to get to Edinburgh, we've actually decided to go nowhere.
Look at this nice little kitty cat.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Isn't it so nice?
Yeah. Very fluffy. He's not the only kitty in the neighborhood. But we will leave the boat in the marina and head into town for a little bit. Find out where we are. We found another castle. It's just down an empty road, and at this point we're unsure if this is someone's home or an actual castle. It's listed as castle on the map. Oh, there's a delivery box. This might be... What a home. You see, I've learned that narrowboating isn't about being on the boat the whole time. It's about having the freedom to stop along the way. And we've come to see Scotland after all. Finally giving ourselves the free time means, yeah, we can enjoy a treat and do a little quick maintenance on the boat too. Ooh.
There was a lot of weeds in this.
Oh, there's something on it.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
It's like a tiny eel. Not too bad.
Just weeds.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Considering how wild that canal was, like how natural, not too bad.
But the weeds won't stop your propeller the way that like
No,
man-made shit will.
not the way a carpet will. Flashback to last week's episode. We're good? Ready to go? See, I like this. It's like, you don't have to do any maintenance. Little checks. Kind of fun, gives me something to do. Wow. Nicole just whipped this together for us.
That was after me.
Amazing. A couple of cheeky chips on the side. Because we're in the UK, right? Chips. Thank you.
You're so lucky.
I am so lucky. The other benefit of being moored in a town for the day means some friends of ours that live in Scotland here are able to come join us for the return ride. Where's Nicole? She's over there somewhere. These are Em and Gavin. They live in Scotland, so we thought, why not come and join us? I'm kind of glad we didn't go to Edinburgh in the end. I mean, honestly, I needed this break. I get so focused on the goal and getting somewhere that I often forget to just enjoy the journey.
It's quite narrow, yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's always more fun with friends in the end. Oh dear, sorry. You're doing great. I mean, you're out in the middle here. It's just so wooded. I know it's cliche to say, but it's okay to slow down. You're not gonna miss out on life by slowing down. In fact, you'll probably appreciate it more. And with that, we're gonna moor up, and I'm gonna stop filming so I can enjoy the evening with friends. But I guess that's kind of the lesson in all of this, isn't it? Aim for something big. Have big goals in life. In this case, Edinburgh. And even if you don't make it, well, you'll still end up somewhere pretty amazing. And likely further than others have gone to. So I think that's what I'm taking away from this. This has been another canal series in the UK. I'm Mike. I don't know where I'm going next, but I know I want you there with me. So thanks for coming along. I'll see you next week right here on DownieLive. Wait a minute. Freeze right there. Zoom in. Zoom in again.
Yes, that. Actually, this sweater. This is my favorite warm layer. And this is the Anion Melton wool, and I bought it with my own money 4 years ago. In fact, that's why they've sponsored this video, is because they've seen me wear it over and over again in my videos. Here's footage of me buying it. Little retail therapy, which just came in the mail today. Anion. And here's footage of me opening it for the first time in 2020. Actually bought 2 versions. This is the charcoal version, and I bought it in blue as well. And it has been my go-to travel shirt ever since.
I have worn it all across Canada, in Norway, the United States, and yeah, even here in the UK for the canals. You see, the Melton wool shirts are made of recycled wool, which is antimicrobial, so they don't stink. They also don't wrinkle, and they are water resistant, so I always pack them when traveling. And considering how much I've worn them, they still look brand new. So I'm so happy that Anion decided to partner with me, because I absolutely love the Anion Melton wool shirts, but also the entire concept of circular fashion and how they make all their clothing from salvaged natural textiles.
Oh my gosh, there's so many of us all wearing the same outfit. Someone's gonna have to go home and change. We can't all wear the same outfit, guys. These shirts have been through everything with me, and they still hold up. So there is a link in the description down below. Click it, and I've convinced them to give you a 20% discount. So the discount code is DownieLive.
Site-wide for both men's and women's wear.
Get yourself an Anion Melton wool. It'll save you 20% off your purchase, so you can have a shirt designed to last forever. The Anion Melton wool. I really couldn't recommend it any more highly.